and welcome to healthyhouseplants.com, where we teach you all about gardening in the great indoors. If you'd like to support our show, please use our Amazon affiliate link below. Today we are checking back in with this goldfish plant, which I have in the other video. I'm linking below. I will link everything else I mentioned video-wise below as well. So I had shown you in that video how to use rooting hormone and get just about any houseplant to root with the rooting hormone, which I did with this guy. We have one really nice one, this really tall one. The other ones are a little small. I'm thinking they still may need to sit in here for a while, but I'm going to work on getting this guy out. He may come out with the others, so we'll see what happens, but I'm going to pull it out so you can see the roots that have formed, and then also going to decide which of these pots here would be good for the amount of root that is available on the plant. Have some potting soil here, and I'll put a link below for what I'm using. It's moisture retentive yet also nice and well draining, which the goldfish plant really like. Okay, so when you have done this has been sitting for a while. I believe it's about 2 months, and if you pull on it just very gently, you'll be able to tell if things are rooting. And the rooting hormone works really well too. So I am going to go ahead and dig down in here and going to do my best to hopefully not disturb any of the roots here. So going down underneath, loosening it. This is what you want to do when you've done this, because obviously you've done all this work to get the plant to root. You definitely don't want to pull the plant off its roots that you've worked so hard to get on the plant. And these were, as mentioned, and as you can see in the prior video, these were just cuttings off of a goldfish plant. So they had absolutely no roots on them. It's really hard when you plant it together to just uproot one, so I may have to, looks like I'm just going to have to uproot them all and then repot them all, and it's probably time for them anyway. So a very delicate operation here, I have to say, not something you want to be able to make sure you have time for when you go to do it. Okay, so we do have a root system on the plant here. Being very careful with that root system. Okay, so you can see here, we do have roots. This little guy has some roots, and this, it looks like it's a piece of, it actually looks like a little piece of compost there that it has attached to. So I'm going to leave that on the root. And as you can see, there is a root system, not a big root system, but a big enough root system for the plant. Now, given how small that root system is, I'm going to go into this little pot here for this plant. We definitely don't want too much soil for this little root system. So I'm going to put some in here. This is also a terracotta, so it's not going to get, it's going to dry out fairly quickly, but it's not going to stay really wet, which is important because we don't want to get root rot with this little root system here. So I put some in and make sure there's a little hole. You want to make enough, a long area for it to be able to set the roots into. You don't want to mash the roots up. You want to be able to have them hang down. The plant's going to do much better that way and have a better chance of acclimating and doing well. Okay, so I'm setting it in here into the little hole I created. Whoops, you don't want to do that. You want to be careful. As mentioned, these are very delicate roots here. So have a little issue there. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and put soil in. That'll help to hold it in here too. Okay, there we go. And you're going to tamp down. Tamping means to press down on the soil. So you want to tamp down very gently so as not to damage any of those roots. This was pre-moistened soil. You always want to use pre-moistened soil so that the plant, well, for one thing, you can see the plant is now standing up. If it wasn't moistened, it would be laying down. But also once you go to water, then if you haven't pre-moistened, the soil will sink considerably and then you don't have enough soil for the plant. Okay, so there you go. Nice little cute little goldfish plant there that will continue to grow. This is a propagation mix that I show in another video. I'll link that below too. So even though there isn't a ton of roots on this, it has enough roots. The purpose was to get it to root so then it can start growing in soil. This is more of a sterile situation because there is no soil in here. And so that's why you use it for propagation, but the plants can't live in here indefinitely because there is no soil, so there isn't nutrient retention. All there really is in here is water retention for the development of roots. Okay, so here we have this little guy. And we're going to check out these other ones too. See how they did. Okay, so this one has some roots, not as many as the other one, but still has some roots. And then we had one little guy over here, but oh, geez, oh, down here. Okay, so this one didn't really root. As you can see, it never did root. It was treated in the same manner, and this will happen. That's why you want to try to propagate several pieces when you are propagating, so you have a better chance of getting of having some luck, right? So this one didn't, so we don't need to worry about that one. I could always try to do it again, but at this point, it's not that it's lost some color in its leaves. It's not as healthy as it was, so I would be better off going to the mother plant, as they call it, the one where you cut off the cuttings to root. Be better off going to the mother plant, cutting some new foliage off and doing it again. But I'm happy with these two. I'm also going to do the same thing in here, use this other little tiny pot. These pots are just way too big, and do the same thing here. And I will have exciting two baby goldfish plant. And goldfish plant are gorgeous. They have gorgeous reddish and orangey flowers. I'm putting a picture right here for you right now so you can see what this plant, the mother plant of this plant, looks like and what we can look forward to when these get a lot bigger, obviously. Okay, so got that in there, well covered. You can see we've got our two little babies here, and they need to be also watered. So anytime you do repot, you always want to water, and not water again till the soil is dry. And you want to water like I just did so that the water comes out the drainage hole. So that's what you want to do. I just put it here, on here, so you can get a look at it. Looks really cute. And then I'm watering this one as well. Now, I had this in a humidity dome. I took it off before to do this. I do show it in the other videos to put a humidity dome over this. So I am going to put another humidity dome over them for a little while, just to make sure that it stays humid around them, which will help them continue to grow roots. And then at some point I will take it off. So this one, because it didn't have as much roots, is a little bit not as staying in its pot as well. It's staying where I had planted it as well, but I'll let it drain a little bit and then move it and tamp it down a little bit more. So there you go. We were successful in getting 2 out of 3 goldfish plant to root for beautiful plants later on, and already cute little plants right now. Thank you for stopping by today. Please leave any comments about any indoor gardening tutorials you'd like to see. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And please check the bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos are released.